Since 2024, over 60% of trillionaires have been self-made, but almost no one talks about what really made them rich. What if I told you it wasn't luck, but something far more powerful, something you could start using today? These people use more than strategy. They rely on mind-powered routines, scientific visualization, and behavioral coding. They don't just build wealth, they program it. And this isn't another talk about thinking positive. This is about how trillionaires hardwire results into their daily lives. They've built systems so strong they don't need motivation. Because once the program is set, wealth becomes automatic. And here's the part no one sees. At the end of this video, we'll reveal the one daily pattern almost all trillionaires share, yet hardly anyone notices. Get ready, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how the rich really think, how they live, and how they build unstoppable wealth from the inside out. So why do some people become wealthy fast, while others work hard for years and never get ahead? The answer might surprise you. Let's start with the facts. Over 60% of trillionaires in 2024 are self-made. That means no family money, no lucky break, no inheritance. They started from scratch, just like anyone else. But here's what sets them apart. They don't rely on one paycheck. They build multiple income streams, usually 7 or more. Some come from businesses, some from real estate, others from things like investments, digital products, or even intellectual property. And the big truth? These income streams aren't just for trillionaires. They're available to anyone who knows where to look and is willing to start. It's not just what they do, it's how they think. They see chances where most people see risk. They move fast when others hesitate. They spot trends long before the world catches up. So the question is, how do these trillionaires see opportunities the rest of us can't? It's not just what trillionaires do. It's how they think, and more importantly, how they see their future. They train their brains to focus only on the things that build wealth. They cut out the noise, and they do it through something called the reticular activating system, or RAS. Your RAS is like a mental filter. It chooses what you notice and what you ignore. When you visualize success every day, your RAS starts to find real opportunities that match those images. Think about that. It's not luck, it's neuroscience, and it works. MRI scans show that when people imagine winning, their brains light up the same way as when they actually win. That's why Olympic athletes use this. That's why trillionaires use this. Even top CEOs swear by it. They're not dreaming. They're rehearsing success in detail before it ever happens. So if they're doing that every day, the real question is, what does that kind of visualization actually look like in a trillionaire's daily routine? The truth is simple. Trillionaires don't wing it. They live by powerful daily rituals that keep their mind sharp and their goals focused. One of the biggest habits? Reading. A lot of it. Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates each spend over 5 hours a day reading. They're not just reading for fun. They're feeding their minds with patterns, insights, and trends. It's how they spot what's coming before the world does. But it's not all business. They also build their mindset every day. Oprah Winfrey starts her mornings with gratitude lists. She uses vision boards to keep her goals clear. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said he visualized every lift in the gym before it happened. Then, he used that same technique to win in business and politics. These rituals aren't just nice ideas, they're tools, mental armor for making big decisions under pressure. This isn't luck, it's structure. It's how the ultra-rich stay focused, even when the stakes are high. But how do affirmations and mindset shifts actually change your brain? What's the science behind it? It might sound strange, but what you say to yourself actually changes your brain. There's real science behind it. Let's start with affirmations. When trillionaires repeat powerful statements about success, it's not wishful thinking, it's rewiring. Daily affirmations activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, confidence, and decision-making. Say it enough, and the brain starts to believe it and act like it. Next comes writing goals. Writing them down makes you 42% more likely to achieve them. Not because the paper is magic, but because your brain starts seeing the goal as real. One powerful example: Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check long before he was famous. Years later, he got a movie role that paid him exactly that. It wasn't a trick, it was belief, backed by action. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about building the brain like a machine. Trillionaires aren't guessing. They're programming their minds to work for them every day. But that leads to a big question. If they think differently about belief, how do they think about time and money? This is where most people get it wrong. They chase money. But trillionaires? They chase time. They know time is the one thing you can't get back. So instead of doing everything themselves, they focus on outsourcing, delegating, and automating. Not because they're lazy, but because it gives them more hours for thinking, planning, and creating. They don't want to survive the day. They want to control it. Next, they focus on assets, not stuff. They don't spend money on things that lose value. Instead, they buy businesses, stocks, and real estate. Income sources that work for them while they sleep. They're not addicted to cash. They're obsessed with freedom, the kind of freedom only time can give. To them, money is just a tool. But time, that's the real treasure. And that brings us to one final question. If this is how they use time, how do they stay focused when others give up? The real secret? They track everything, and they never go it alone. Every morning, trillionaires review their goals, not just big plans, but small steps. They adjust fast, no wasted weeks, no drifting for months, just focused momentum. But that's only half the picture. They also build powerful networks, because the right people open doors money never could. To trillionaires, relationships are assets, deals, advice, leverage. All come from who they know. Most people protect their time from others. Trillionaires protect their time for the right ones. And that raises a deeper question. When pressure hits, when deals fail, when everything feels like it's collapsing, how do they stay calm, focused, and in control? Here's the truth. Nearly every trillionaire you know failed first. They didn't skip the pain. They just learned how to use it. Failure, rebound, scale. Bezos, Musk, Branson, each lost millions before they ever made trillions. What kept them moving? Meditation, visualization, relentless focus. Daily meditation wasn't a luxury, it was armor. Steve Jobs, Ray Dalio, even Elon, they used stillness to filter out the chaos and reconnect with vision. Because failure didn't break them, it refined their direction. And now comes the final key, the one behavior that quietly binds them all. What is it? Here's the truth most people miss. Manifestation alone isn't magic. It's a process. And trillionaires follow it with precision. They visualize the goal, then take daily repeated action, even when motivation is gone. Their secret? A reverse-engineered vision. Elon Musk imagines the end result first, then builds backward, step by step. Every trillionaires you admire, they don't guess. They see the finish line before they even begin the race. Because they don't live in the present. They live in the future they're building day after day. And that's the one pattern. They never break. The only difference between dreaming and doing is systems, plus belief. From Oprah to Musk to you. This life is available if you're willing to see it before it's real. You've just seen how trillionaires build wealth from the inside out. You don't need $1 trillion, just the right mindset and daily habits. Start with one: journaling, visualizing, or goal setting. Which one will you try first? Comment below, and if this helped you, like, share, and subscribe for more.